Hi folks, and welcome back to Travels with Paddles. My name's James. This is the first part of a three-part series on our paddles in Croatia. In most of my videos I launch straight into the paddling action, but this old lady of the sea, the Postira, featured so heavily in this trip that I figured I should feature her at the beginning. We're going to be paddling around two of the Elaphiti Islands just off the coast of Croatia near Dubrovnik. We opted to go for a fully guided kayaking holiday, and our chosen provider was Adria Adventure. As well as our guide, all of the paddle gear and accommodation in a B&B on the Isle of Lopud was included as part of the price. To reach Lopud, we had about an hour of sailing on the Postira, stopping in at the Isle of Cumulus on the way. The Postira was built in 1963 and has been doing the island run for decades. The islanders seem to love this old ship. They say that come rain or shine, they know the Postira will be there on time to take them to the mainland. I can understand how they feel. This ship definitely has character. As you can probably see and hear on the video, it is fairly windy, which was a little bit of a worry as we were supposed to be paddling the following day. However, as we pulled into Lopud, it did seem as if the weather had actually calmed down. Little did we know that by the time we went out for dinner in the evening, things would have changed quite dramatically. This was a floating jetty located just at the end of the road from our B&B. Anyhow, that's enough introduction, let's get on with the paddling. Here's a map of the route, and total distance was 4.6 miles. Fortunately, with the thunderstorm having passed over the previous evening, the weather in the morning was actually looking quite good for paddling. We met up with our guide called Spiky, who allocated us boats and safety equipment. He also decided to delay our start by about an hour just to make sure the weather was improving. That gave us a chance to run along the jetty that we'd seen the previous night. The sea was clearly much calmer, but you can still see there's a bit of a swell. At last, it was time to start our paddling adventure in Croatia. The plan for the day was to leave the town of Lopud, paddle round the southern part of the Isle of Lopud, round to a beach at Sunj. A quick apology to all Croatians for my pronunciation of town names. That's our guide, Spiky, in the blue boat. We're paddling on the Adriatic Sea, which has an amazing blue-green colour. The water's also very clear. Soon, after leaving Lopud, we reach the tip of a very thin spit of land and virtually double back on ourselves as we go down the other side. On this trip we had A-team regulars: Sarah, Jane, Martin, Tony, Hannah and myself. The rocky shoreline presents the perfect opportunity for some easy rock hopping. And Hannah gets straight down to business. We're gently making our way along the southwestern coast of Lopud. The island is quite small, with a total surface area of just 1.8 square miles and 7 miles of coastline. Most of the coastline is rocky, but the beach that we're heading to at Sunj is famous for being sandy. Everyone enjoying a bit of fun working our way between the rocks. For a few seconds I did actually contemplate going through this gap, but there's just not enough time when the water's deep enough. A bit further around the island and we found a cave. Particularly here, the water was such an amazing blue colour. After a bit of exploring, we move on round the island. I couldn't resist giving this bit of rock hopping a go. Unfortunately, my timing is pretty much terrible and the water disappears just as I'm passing through. Thankfully, I make it without getting stuck or scraping the boat. There's Tony demonstrating how it should be done. We extend our paddle a little bit towards a rock called Elaphiti Islands. After looping around it, we head back towards the beach. You know me, I can't go anywhere without doing at least one roll. Just amazing how crystal clear the water is. With the sun shining and the water so warm, it's definitely time to break out snorkel masks and go for a swim. Anyhow, I do hope you've enjoyed this video of our paddles on day 1 in Croatia. Please do check out days 2 and 3, and until next time, stay safe on the water.